Hey Army, today I'm doing my video on my necromancer. I know I had talked about it before, and I just kind of wanted to do the video today. I like going here to get all my summons, because there's a lot of them, and it's kind of like free bodies everywhere. I had a lot of fun with this build. And we're going to be able to see what I used on it, and I know a few people have asked me to do a video on this, so I actually was able to do Ubers on it too, which is kind of why people wanted me to do a video on it. At some point later on I'll do a video on it if everybody likes this. Alright, now we're going to see the gear that I have on it. Okay, of course, like I'm going to have this. It's mostly for the magic find. I ended up having a lot of magic find on this build. And Beast was pretty awesome. Not only does it have the Fanaticism aura, but it also has chance of open wounds, crushing blow, all those. And I was able to turn into a werebear, which is kind of cool, especially for a necromancer. There was definitely other options I could have put as this, but I felt like Beast was the best way to go with it. And of course I had Shaco. It definitely helped with mana, I'll tell you that much. And the magic find, of course. Alright, this is the most important part. I absolutely loved Enigma on this build. I feel like if you have summons, like you really should have Enigma. That way that you can keep them all together and they're not going crazy and all over the place. They still have their moments where they do that, but this is just better to like have them targeted at one object instead of several. So like if you're going to make a summoning, even if it's a druid, like having Enigma is probably the best way to go. And that's just for my summoning. Almost everything I have is pretty much for magic find and for my summons. And then I just have random res charms. And then my skillers and my geeds. Pretty much just the normal. I definitely put a lot of reses on there. The good thing about it is you can teleport onto an enemy and then move back and you won't have to worry about getting hit. I always had fun doing cows, so of course I'm gonna have to do cows on this. I actually really missed this build. It was a lot of fun. I had so much fun on this build. And I could just not get that leg. I tried. I don't know if I'll ever do a video with like this without doing cows at least once. Even if for a few minutes. Now it's nothing like my fire sword. Like that one was able to kill them almost instantly. But the cool thing about this is it has revive. So I always try to revive the cows because I think it's hilarious that they're fighting each other. Usually I try to get the ooters and stuff too, but since I was in cows, I just went ahead and revived the cows. But if I was doing an Uber, it would definitely have been the ooter. Just kind of funny. This build's just so much fun. It's fun watching it. It's Really fun that I was able to teleport around and keep them together. I don't do all the cows, but I do make sure that I get the cow king in here, just so everyone can see how kind of, it does go fast. If there's several targets, it takes a little bit longer, but if there's one, it's almost instant death for them. I do try to put some of the curses on them. I have amplified damage and Decrepify, lower resist. Those are pretty much the ones that I used. I do have corpse explosion, but I didn't really use that unless I was like going against Neolithak or something like that. And I know I probably said it wrong compared to most other people, but I'm really excited for this build. And this is non-ladder. And it was towards the beginning of D2R. So, I mean, a lot probably has changed since then. I haven't done a Summoning Necro since then, so. But this is just something fun, kind of OP build. It's rare for me to die at all. And it's actually rare for one of my skeletons or golem or even my merc to die. The mages, on the other hand, is a different story. They have their ups and downs. But it's definitely not that bad. There's usually always bodies. Unfortunately, I didn't find anything. I really hope that one of these times it does. I'm gonna start streaming on YouTube playing this game, so hopefully one of these days a bird will drop. I've actually never had one drop for me before. Just sad. I know a lot of people who have, and I've never gotten a bird or a jaw. Have gotten a sir though, twice. Really waiting for that bird drop. Kind of glad it didn't happen on here though, since it was non-ladder. That would have been sad. It was kind of funny. I was playing this earlier, and that's how fast the cow king dies. But I was playing this earlier, trying to get used to it again, because it's been a while since I played it. And declone spawned. Like, it was kind of crazy. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording at the time, which really sucks, but maybe one of these times. I don't even know if it was announced, it just kind of spawned. I know with ladder it usually shows up. But that's how quickly it takes out the cow king. Now you can see my stats. I put 65 points into strength, 150 into dex, 275 into vita, and 45 into energy. The mana regen is decent. The MF I have 350. Light radius is pretty good. Experience gain 10%, pretty much probably because of the Hanny. Increased attack speed's not too bad. It could definitely be better. Fire absorb. All of those are extremely important. And you could always pause the video later on if you want to see everything. Diablo goes really fast with this build. The whole Chaos Sanctuary actually does. I was actually pretty happy with it. Again, it's been a while since I've actually played this character, but it's definitely my favorite one. I had said before that I was doing a fire druid. I did make a druid, but it wasn't fire. I ended up doing shape-shifting and summoning at the same time. It was kind of like a hybrid. But my character right now, I'm trying to do a Boazon with like cold. It's getting there. Still needs a little bit of work. But it's definitely fun and I enjoy it. I was doing the traps in at the beginning, but I'm not a huge fan of it. It's pretty much you just lay a trap down and run away. At least with this, there's curses and you can revive different things, and I enjoyed this one so much. And I know I've said that like 100 times, but it honestly is my favorite build. I do have an Alibaba on swap for more MF, but I honestly don't use it much because I already have 350% MF, so it's really not needed. Definitely would be funny though. It'd probably be like 400 plus, 450. You really don't need much more than 200, but I kind of went out of my way a little bit. That was kind of weird. Kind of froze for a minute. Probably too much going on. But yeah, that was the longest area that in this whole run. They just wouldn't die. They didn't want to die. Yeah, like I said, like if you teleport onto one, it's almost instantly dead. I have 13 skeletons, 13 mages, and 17 revived. So altogether I have 45 if you include the golem and the merc, which is a lot. And then me too, so I guess 46. I really don't do much though other than curses, so. I used to turn into a grizzly, which was really funny for a necro to do. Unfortunately, you can't teleport though, so I really don't use it much. It was just something funny. Yeah, there's nothing that can stop it. At least in chaos. And it's actually not a, it's a pretty fast run for a necro too. I'm curious what everyone else uses for their summoning necro. I know Armalioric's like a really big thing, and I used that at the beginning and switched out of it. And then went to Beast, which is a lot better in my opinion. Well, first starting off, I had the other one. And I could have used Spirit too. It does give you +2 to skills, and really wish that code rune had been on ladder. Yeah, it really doesn't take any time at all to kill all of this. I want to make another Necro at some point. Maybe next ladder. I'm not really sure though, because 4 comes out pretty much right after the next ladder. If they keep up with the time frame that they usually do. Which hopefully they do. And I definitely appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day to watch this video. I'm really excited to showcase this. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I feel like other people would too, and to be able to see it is definitely a plus for some. There's definitely other variations to the build, and I'm definitely open to any suggestions. But I was able to run Ubers. I did a few of them and had no problem at all, which was pretty cool, especially for a Necro. And I have to say it again, I think Enigma is literally the best part of this, just because it kind of contains all of the summons. It makes it just easier to kill things. Otherwise, they're just running around the map, which is funny. And it doesn't have any problems on players 8 either. I wish I could have done that, but maybe one of these other times I'll try to get 8 people who are on non-ladder to at least join the game, so I can kind of show you what it does on players 8. But now off to Diablo. I'm so used to like Sork saying that, it's kind of weird hearing that from a Necro. And then I decrepified him. And it really takes no time at all to kill them. Okay, and now you get to see my, my skills. So I maxed out all of those. Raise, Skeleton Mage. I only put a few into Revive. And Iron Golem, and Blood Golem. And a few into Clay as well. And then Golem Mastery, and Summon Resist. I only put 1 point into each of those. Especially Corpse Explosion, I really needed that. But all my maxes were on my summons. And Decrepify is extremely important, especially on bosses. So I had to make sure that I put a few extra points into that, and lower resist. But I usually only use lower resist, I use Decrepify, and amplify damage. Then I do a tomb run. Trying to find the most populated areas to kind of show everyone what my build can do. And it honestly doesn't take long to do this either. I wish that my revived would have stayed alive longer. I feel like they died pretty fast. But, or I should say disappeared. Or re-died, or whatever you want to call it. But I definitely wish that it had just lasted a little bit longer. And the only downside to my Merc is he freezes everything, so sometimes there isn't bodies, but he's extremely helpful too. So it kind of goes 2 different ways there. I knew all those were there, so I really didn't want to teleport into it. And yes, I just left items on the ground. Again, this is non-ladder, so I'm really not concerned. I really don't play non-ladder much. So, I mean, any uniques that drop would just kind of stay there. I think I do pick up a small charm, but that's about it. Now, if a burr would have dropped, I would have picked that up. And probably freaked out. Definitely wish I would keep more full rejuves. I don't know why I don't. Should have like a whole stash full. I swear I have like 12 mules. You would think that one of them would have a bunch of full rejuves, but I don't think I've learned my lesson yet. And then I kind of figured that there was like a little bit more extra here. So I kind of went back. It felt like it was way too small. I'm like, this is not normal. So I just went back and I'm like, okay, it makes more sense. But I definitely hope you guys are enjoying this build. I know I do. You guys are going to get to see what my merc's wearing after we're done with tombs. I'm surprised that his health hasn't went down at all. I know he doesn't die, but he's really doing good today. I'm so glad my lightning was maxed out. And then they all die again. It's pretty much how it works. Alright, so we have Pride for the concentration aura. He has attack rating, damage to demons, lightning damage, deadly strike, it blinds target. All that's really good. Then of course Andariel's Visage, really good to have. The IAS is like the IAS and the life stolen per hit is really, really important, especially for him staying alive. You definitely need life stolen per hit, and you definitely need IAS. And of course, treachery. More IAS, then faster hit recovery, which helps as well. His fire resist is a little low, but he really doesn't die. The only one he really has problems with sometimes is Bale, but I think that's more or less because I don't realize that he's getting hit because there's so many around him. Alright, this is the last run that I do to show you my build. Of course I had to do Trav at some point. Cows, Trav, Diablo, Tombs, definitely have to have all those. If I do another video on it, I'll probably do things like Bale and maybe Arcane or something like that. I really don't do that much, but it's definitely a good one. You can get a lot of good items there, especially skillers. But yeah, they take these out easy. Even my sword kind of hesitated on these, but my summons really don't even die to them. So it's pretty cool. Except for this last one, it really don't want to die. I hope you enjoy my video. I'm planning on making more in the future. If you want to see me run an Uber, I didn't have keys this time, or I would have. I really wanted to, but if I get the keys together and can do an Uber, hopefully you guys would want to see that. If you do, let me know. If you have any suggestions or if you just like the build, let me know that too. As always, like, subscribe, join my Discord. Always looking for Diablo players. We have quite a few, but I would love to get more, especially right before Diablo 4. That's going to be cross-platform, which is amazing, and I'm so excited for that. But I will see you guys all later. Bye!